Good morning, everyone. Uh, we have a quick announcement. Our Dharma sister Dip is very kind and generous. Today she offering free lunch for everyone, whoever who here. So lunch, she made a vegetarian lunch. Uh, she always help. So we really appreciate. Also, this afternoon we have a talk offering, Lama Chupa, so everybody will be prepared. In the end of the teaching, we have a kata offering and a group picture. So everybody in the picture smiling.
Thank you so much, Yongpin, all the time. Of course, without you, we are probably not here. Okay, and yesterday we had a good time in a Dharma way. And of course, everyone, thank you for coming back today. We have maybe more things to learn or more things to practice. Whatever we can do, we do together. And meanwhile, if Sandy, you need this, I don't really need this. And of course, we start daily practice first, and then we do maybe recite a little bit what we already go over or chanting, and then we go through line by line again, like yesterday. Ge tarwa dan tam ji jembe barzo juba shiva tan ji ji zo shibe ma nam ga dan nyambe samjian tam ji dewa dan den dong ar dan cha Nyordala na me bayan tak bara zog be shangju rinpo je to barisha.
All mother sentient beings, limitless the space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering. Swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment.
Di je do san ma ji je par lunga yi zong ge wa la go ma ji par de lunga yi zong ge wa la go tu de re ne zong de ni ma san ta zam ji par For
that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings. Practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path.
Sanji Judan Zoji Jonan La Janjo Pardo Dane Jasanji Dagi Jizoji Bizanamji Rola Benja Sanji Dubarajo.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Namga Tanyambe Simchen Tam Dewa Dan Dewi Judan Damba Joreji Dunga Dan Dunga Ji Judan Chor Joreji Dunga Mebe Dewa Dan Mandar Joreji Nyerin Jadan Yindan Danyam Lane Bar George.
May all mothers, sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mothers, sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Ramjan Janzo so malu loye lande bulo no jinin dogan tuji zonde zo da le longe do ba jinji da ponggan jinji taryin de mai ji da de song wen o bo jir zi Berji danzin xie wai xin ji lo Ngo dai ngo me ta le yang zhu xin Jin ga ne zong zhong da ji ji ming zan Ni lo men da ran cho bro we san to ba xin ji lo
An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents and the wealth of infinite oceans of realms. If I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception, please hold with compassion all the beings they contain. My body, enjoyments, and whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and sense sources, my aspirations now and in times to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine. By offering them all, may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping.
Om Guru. Oh, not yet.
Completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending the names and attributes of arising, cessation, abiding, coming and going, affirmation and denial. The supreme mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood.
Guru Devanda Gene Namanda Pardita So Namo Nansi Namdag Lama La Nansi Shiryin Zhen Joban Kamsan yongzhu de zorwan de ngorwa dendru de xinjin jil ye 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 norbu zogi jen masan jume jarwe to Chimbi yi yi nga dan den ze hui dan yi ga zhi jian. Zhuo wai jun zi mo ji da sim yi ni ji nga nin zor wan de. Que ni yi ji nga de xin ji lo. Semdu ne jeme nam dan de lon de joga do ba xin ji lo.
Namo. To the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence, I offer all appearance and existence arisen as the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the 3 realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depth. Lord, with 5 omniscient wisdoms, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind, primordially pure and unborn, as the unfathomable Dharmakaya.
Simchen namji zamba tang loye jeda jedar war chechun tumon tekbayi chujin kol kordo zo de zon zon chen tam jejin o re dong jin kor jam so chap da ka rin zong me tu ye dan yin kam chuji jerbu shab ji pe mo chen ma me ba lang go ra de 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 go song ku ba chen bo go ne ja tsar jin jab san je o je wa ne tse ra yin chen wang tam ji Tokze jimbo goni jisu sonde ju shinji la baranza do so kange shar song da we me mong ka saran zun ben dong ra shen zan be se wo zan zhe sar wen ro kun ne ge tukji da ma kuni ju ren ji ten som jen kong cha be ta mo be ma gar po de ren da lo yen zo ra jong or jen zo le be me dong bo Cherve nam zho rong jiong sun chi zho zan zo bei ye den song bar. Ben man jung ni da le ben so re jiong xin ni ten kun xi xin si bin qian zi jin ko ra gong xin zho kun zhen mo man ba zhen zi lo zhu kun di nian de. Gu dong ye xi zhi ba mi gong chun yin ka lan zi ba gong jan bra xiao ne kun ne ka wei zo gen jo. In zhuo bin ma gar bong zhen bi xie le cun we zhe dong ge cha jin yin ge me zhe lo zhong jiao zhe yang jian a ge ban mo da xi zhong kun song dou san ga ra xi re san bin ma ga ra jin bong ni xiang so zhe nom nya de dong jia ca so ga tre la ma na la so wan de dou jian chong jian de lo na ro dang mar ba me la chu jin gan bo pam zhe ba jie wan zhi gong ba ga ju la ma nam la so wan de gong zhe de ga ren jin ying bong go re yo den gun jing jie bi ji ge de ying bo dong zhe bi bi nan ju ro Chime vizri shabji da yi jan, shi ya gun zing zho lai ji si zi, chime vizri yang chur tu terin zo, wo sa long jen nang kui nan jiro. Jing mi ling bi shab la sur wan de, chi dar jar vi si po shi wa la, nang dar chu bi hong jiu xia re, zang pang jiu dang a rang zhir. Jingmi ju ji wang bro gu jan za rik dong jan bar jen yu xin la le gong be long le pa be der ji zho long do chun zi jan song a zai mi pam jan yang nam jia la gu jan za yo den song ji gun dang nyam na yang ga rin song ji gun le la ben gong za we la ma da la gu jan da son zhe we lo na chu la jo sit a little bit. Yesterday we already have our mind pointing instruction, and so just look at your big order, big head, big of your head. Yeah. So repetition is very important. You need to, as soon as your thoughts arise, you need to look back at your mind or turn inwardly to see your mind. It's called mindfulness, which now we know what does that really mean, and it's called, in the Dzogchen tradition, we call shaper. So the shaper, the dog, or taking care sheep, they always bring back the thoughts to on place. So that is only one thing that we need to pay attention. As soon as our thoughts rise, then look back. this is the methods that very powerful and also sometimes it's kind of rare methods that you can hear. Maybe you have already heard of from me or someone else, but it's rarely given. It's the important part of here is that every teacher, Dzogchen or Mahamudra teachers, say you need to look at your mind. Usually never really give instruction to say how to look at your mind. So that is really important to know. Keep that in mind, and maybe that's just the you need tool that in your toolbox all the time to pull out and use it. And priceless, but also you can use again and again. Never get dull or become sort of purple. But this is what I can offer you all because that is what I learned from Drikung. Probably many of you know him personally, and maybe you also know from his books and his teachings and his students, so forth. So that's an important part. And I often see our Drikung tradition, this Namo Nangsi Namda is a very important passage that I often really point out, but different translations sometimes goes in a little bit different way. I suggest all the time that maybe we need to really refine translation on these texts, because this is the supplication, this is the mind pointing, and this is every maybe beginning of the meditation. You need to start from something, some sort of devotional chanting, supplication, and also contains the more profound view that we need to learn. Yesterday, or day before yesterday, we went through this aspirational prayer of Kuntuzangpo or Samadabhadra, and there we understood that there's only one ground, a single ground, if we call single or one. And that is our fundamental nature. And even we are in the dualistic world of samsara, is wandering in the samsara, but we are never straight from that because it's Longchenpas often use, no matter what, a dream, nightmare, if you call, but we never, our thoughts, that dream image is never left from our system, whatever occur, we don't know. But scientists have no explanation of why dream is happening and where dream is happening. But these bizarre things can happen, but it's never left. So until we wake up, we know that it's a dream. Maybe you know inside the dream, there's layers of dream. You wake up from one dream and then you are in still another dream and still another dream. So that if you are have that experience, easy to explain. But the people who have never dreamed, there's, I think I heard there are some people have never dreamed in one's life. So that's it's difficult to explain what dream is. However, the dream is a good explanation of that the samsara dualistic world is not really out there. It's just how we our mind project in a dream images in a certain way, and And that's only we need to understand to wake up or recognize it. Unless we're fighting with the dream images to dream image, then we have all kind of efforts involved, and maybe we are not really solving the dream image. What you want to dislike things to discard or like to embrace, so that's doesn't really help. Stop dreaming, and that's also a dualistic word. But the first two lines here are normal. If you look at page 9, just we learned these are important because you're probably familiar with and you already memorize. I'm talking about the daily practice. And maybe if you want to sit down and to practice, either you chant these or something that relate to you, familiar with to you, you understand the meaning and then what purpose you are doing and what you are asking. And those are important in practice. So here, Namo to the Guru. Utter purity of all appearances and existence, that seems straightforward. Then the next one is, I offer all appearances and existence arisen as primordial ground. So this is a little bit awkward. Yeah? It's some translations would say, I offer the primordial ground. We cannot offer primordial ground. Primordial ground is the ultimate reality. That something we offer is something we think there is something we can offer. What we have is appearances in the existence. But these appearances in the existence arise from the primordial ground, not arisen as a primordial ground. So appearances cannot risen as a primordial ground because primordial ground should not be risen. It's a primordial ground is not appearance, not existence, so it cannot be as risen as primordial ground. So primordial ground, we cannot see primordial ground. We cannot feel primordial ground. So that's why it's called primordial ground. It's beyond experience. So maybe we think about that. These applications are very important, and think about these appearances and existence that are rising from the primordial ground. So that everything rises. Do you remember there's only one ground? The samsara and the nirvana is rising from there, not rising as the primordial ground. And so these are important. Our translators skillful, but still always there's room to make improvement. Sometimes it's important. Then the last 2 or 3 lines seems good. Yeah, it is at least this chanting. Other chantings we have. May I realize Dharmakaya as my mind. That is the opposite way. We need to say in this way that bless me to realize this mind or my mind, primordially pure and unborn as unfathomable Dharmakaya. So that's the direction better here. So I'm talking about different, our Drikung centers have different translations used, sometimes a little bit need to change it and refine this way. I think that at least the second line of the beginning, we must change that I offer all appearances and existence that rise from the primordial ground. So we learn the primordial ground very well now, and we probably should know better. Yeah, that's I want to point out, and maybe we start with one or two questions, and then we can go through the text more. Any questions in here or?
Thank you very. No, sure. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you very much, Rinpoche. I have two questions. One is for everybody here and also on Zoom. The second question is only for people here because it's a question about the empowerment. So my first question is, thank you for giving us the oral transmission of the heart essence of Longchenpa for the preliminary practice. But just having the oral transmission, it's hard for a beginner like me to know how to actually practice. Could you please kindly give us some instruction in terms of how to actually practice that preliminary practice? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's we always need to start from preliminary practice. Even if we are very advanced practitioners, these every lineage we have preliminary practice. That's for sure, and particularly these preliminary practice that I give long yesterday. And mainly, maybe we cannot go through detail, but I would say if beginners or you are not familiar with these texts, better to read and chant without worry too much about uh, the counting of the 100,000 bodhicitta, 100,000 100 syllables and so forth. I think once you familiarize well, then they have step by step. And the very beginnings, saying the blessing of the speech, which is because if once you soon as wake up, usually we have this wake up call kind of to say waking up, and then you do kind of release or blow away the negative qi, air from nostrils. And then you bless your tongue. Blessed tongue is important. The whole day, whatever you recite mantras, that's for purpose of blessing your tongue is important. And then we have more and more deep in here to chant more this Guru Yoga, what we chant in GBI. That is the rising your faith, or this is very very profound, and also it's at the same time very intimacy that is talking about our Guru. It's reside in our heart center. It's not our Guru's out there. Even you go to sleep, you put your Guru in your heart center. Usually, if you want to practice dream yoga, usually they call when you sleep, either you visualize a red lotus in your throat to sleep, to recite your Guru there, or in your heart. So here I think we are maybe familiar with who went to Gato Rinpoche's teaching, we chant this from the blessing lotus of devotion of the center of my heart. Yeah, rise up, O compassionate Lama. So the whole night you are keeping your guru in your heart or your throat, and my heart, rise up, O compassionate Lama, my only refuge. I'm plucked by past action and turbulence emotions to protect me in my misfortunes. And then now you are wake up, you stand up. So now you are bringing your guru hard to throw to the crown. Remain as a jewel ornament on the crown of my heart, my head, the chakra of great bliss, the great blisses on top. And at the same time, our own arousing all my mindfulness awareness together, mindfulness and awarenesses I need to wake up at the same time. And then I pray, arousing all my mindfulness and awarenesses. I pray means I pray for all my senses and my faith and my devotion and my understanding all rise up. So then we have whole mind changing or the whole thoughts that change our mind turn into Dharma and so forth. So very detailed chantings here. And then after that, that we don't need too much explain now. You need to familiarize that. And then, of course, regularly we do take refuge, bodhicitta, and then Vajrasattva's purification with visualization of Vajrasattva, dissolution of Vajrasattva in you, and through the four powers, confession and so forth, and then recite Vajrasattva's mantra, 100 syllable, and then dissolve Vajrasattva into you, and Vajrasattva, you are become Vajrasattva. So that's how I practice. Then we have mandala offering, that's a separate thing. And then the you practiced kusala, Lu Jinzi, we call Lu Jinzi, the pay Lu Jinzi Purpila Duchum and so forth. And then we have Guru Yoga, which Guru is Guru Rinpoche. But when you visualize Guru Rinpoche, yourself as a receiver of blessing, need to visualize you as a Vajrayogini, stand up a Vajrayogini, and then you, of course, Guru Rinpoche's tall in front of you, and then Vajra Guru mantras, and then all the blessings come with for empowerment. This is called self-empowerment. It's white Om, red A, blue Hong, and so forth. So these the four in the navel, and these four areas, the Guru Rinpoche's four chakras, they radiate the white, red, blue, and dark radiance come to you as dissolve into your four places. That's your self-empowerment. So this four empowerment are self-empowerment. And then everything dissolve in you, and then you do a meditation. What now we know how to do the meditation. So that's a kind of preliminary practice. What do we do? If you have chance, sometimes if you finish already many mundos, but sometimes read this because this has more information. Sometimes we can get from there.
Thank you very much. I have a second question, if that's okay. Suyang, can you mute the Zoom? Sorry, folks on Zoom, I just have a question about the in-person activity.
Are you? Oh, yeah.
I have one question about this practice structure.
Yes.
Whether it is good idea to combine it somehow in sadhana practice, in regular generation stage like chakra samvara.
Yes, but need to do separately.
Need to do separately.
Yes.
So basically, this is different from dissolution stage in the sadhana
Yes,
practice.
because dissolution stage is, we all know, first we visualize, that's called generation stage, or generating deities, visualizing. And then finally we need to dissolve, that's called completion stage. Dissolving, particularly Yamataka, if you participate, how dissolve the whole outer mandala into the single deity to the Hong syllable. Hong syllable itself has sort of 5 parts. We don't have Hong, but then it's slowly dissolved up, down to up. Yeah. So that's imagining ourselves. Imagination is not Chikchu practice. So the final stage, once you dissolve everything into space, then you can rest as Chikchu. But until that, it's not count as dissolution process. Is not count as Chikchu.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Chikchu has no process.
And like in sadhana, sometimes you have this mantra Om Svabhava Sudha.
Yeah.
So this is basically also meditation on emptiness, right?
Yeah.
Is
How
it,
you?
is it okay to do this kind of structure meditation after this mantra?
Yes, because talking about all week sadhanas start with Om Subhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddham. It's very important because the Buddhists all practice are sandwiched by emptiness. And the beginning emptiness, when we start, Om Subhava, the Subhava means nature. Om, just the beginning of the mantra. Om Subhava. Shuddha is pure, means pure. So the nature is pure. Nature of what? Sarva Dharma, all phenomena. So all phenomena are naturally pure. Om Sarva Dharma, Subhava, Shuddha, the nature, Aham, means it's me. So really means all dharmas are pure, and that is me. The tantric practice is what we are visualizing and what we are dissolving. We are the deity. We are the reciting mantra. Our nature is pure. So that's why Om Subhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha Aham. Aham means that is me. And of course, more complicated things would come, but that naturally that me. And then you can rest again in to practice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question about the ground. Like, is this on? Can you guys hear? Is it okay? Okay. A little closer, like that. Yeah, this question just came up into my mind when you were explaining about this Namu Namsi Namdak and the translation, a little bit mistake, yeah? And I was wondering, like, because when you said that we can't say, like, appearances are the ground, right? Like, appearances arise from the ground, but we can't say that appearances are the ground. And then to me, like, that sort of feels almost like dualistic in a way, like there's two things there, like there's the ground and then there's appearances. And then, so I'm wondering if that is like a dualistic thing, like there's two, yeah, like they're separate. And if they're separate, or if they're two, then like how do appearances arise from the ground? Like what is the mechanism or something that causes like the ground to manifest as appearances?
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like a side question connected with that is like is the mind like the pure essential, like the nature of the mind, Rigpa or whatever you want to call it, like is that the same as the ground, or is Rigpa and ground like something different? And if they're different, then what's the difference? Like how are they different?
Mm-hmm.
Something like this, yeah.
Okay.
So basically it's a question about like, can there be a dualistic situation there with the ground and with appearances, or with mind and ground? Like, are they dualistic or are they non-dualistic, and how does that kind of work? That's
Yeah.
the question.
I'm waiting for that question. So that's why we stopped yesterday there, and today we go through this. The mainly dualistic is whether there's dualistic or not. It's more our side of describing. The nature itself as dualistic or not is probably not, because that's these texts is clear that single ground, no dualistic in there. Yet two paths already dualistic. How happened these two paths? That is your question. So I would say the nature ground itself has no dualistic. And our Namo Nangsi Namda chanting, what I'm saying is what appears, because we cannot really deny that we are involving now, right now, this moment, have some Dharma activities. Either we call appearances or possibilities or existence or dream-like activities, whatever we call, something that's happening, not necessarily exist, because dream images doesn't really need to exist in inherently or naturally or that, but something that we cannot avoid. Even we close eye, we still feel something. So that is called appearances. But we can offer these all appearances as in a good way to accumulate merit, because these appearances are rising from the ground itself. So that's why I'm saying, if we say risen as a ground, then ground never appear. The ground appearances appear, ground's appearances. So these appearances is arising from ground, so we can see the single ground, risen two patterns, two versions. And the same thing, the nature of our mind is non-dual, but conceptual thoughts can rise from there. So the transition, how these non-dual state to risen as dual state, it seems to, it's not necessarily mean risen. So actually, and two dualistics. You remember earlier we talked about it's not straight from ground, even risen, everything from ground, but it's never straight from ground. So that's why early we talk about a dream give us a very good example. So then how these appearances, if the ground has no appearances, how this ground arisen appearances ground, or if ground has no ignorance, then how ignorance rise, and whether our awareness or the wisdom, non-dual wisdom, is whether ground or not. It's much more deeper Dzogchen view that sometimes challenge to describe. But however, it's that's why we need to talk about dynamic energy, what's called Tsal, and then whether we call expression or the display, and maybe express. There's three layers. There's a potentiality. This ground has potentiality. That's called the dynamism or dynamic energy. And then something that happened, rapture or fulgence that happened at the beginning, that is called expression, sort of coming out. And then this subject-object duality probably involve to engage. That's called the rolba, the display. Play is on a stage. We have plays, so it shows something. It means allure or showing, attract, or something that people engage. Until that comes, before the dynamism that our Rigpa has, often called dynamism of Rigpa, which is it's hidden potential. potency that's not come out yet. And then the expression comes, then we have. So sometimes if you watch quantum physics, theory seems a little bit related. If you have familiar with that, then what is dark matter? It's so small, but yet it can potentially blow up the whole universe as how it appears. So Drikung's dynamism is there because of the Trikayas. Trikaya we talk about, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya is our innate nature of our Rigpa. But it's a little bit difficult to pinpoint because the Dzogchen ground we talk about before samsara and nirvana. As soon as we say that, then we already put the Dzogchen ground in a time and space framework or restricted by that. And once we have that, then we say before samsara and nirvana. This is a single ground. Only before samsara and nirvana, what we have, only single ground. But then two paths, already samsara and nirvana happening, and then due to that, then we need to pursue going back to or achieving Buddhahood. So that path is coming. So this is good place to go through this. Okay. And maybe we just chant from beginning together. Maybe English is better to up to. Oh, up to this from the very first sense awareness that's not at dawn, up to there. Transliteration with doesn't really matter, but maybe English is fine. Whatever you are more familiar with.
Okay, so up to.
What page is that? Yesterday, we stopped. Where we stopped?
Are diluted. Mm-hmm. It's
what page is that?
Page 41.
Okay.
In the blue book. It's about 2/3 of the page we're reading. Okay. Ho, everything, appearance and possibilities, samsara or nirvana. I made changes according to Kempo commentary, right? Ho, everything, appearance and possibilities, samsara or nirvana, has a single ground, yet two paths and two fruitions. They are magical displays by awareness or unawareness. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all beings become Buddhas, completely perfected in the abode of the Dharma Dhatu. The ground of all is uncompounded, and the self-arising great expanse beyond expression has neither the name samsara nor nirvana. Realizing just this, you are a Buddha. Not realizing this, you are a being wandering in samsara. I pray that you beings of the three realms may realize the true meaning of the inexpressible ground. have realized the truth of this ground, free from cause and condition, which is just this self-arising awareness. It is unstained by outer expression and inner thought, affirmation or denial, and is not defiled by the darkness of unmindfulness. Thus, this self-manifesting display is free from defects. Abide as intrinsic awareness. Even though the three realms were to be destroyed, there is no fear. There is no attachment to the five desirable qualities of sense objects. In self-arising consciousness, free of thoughts, there is neither solid form nor the five poisons. In the unceasing clarity of awareness, singular in essence, there yet arises the display of the five wisdoms. From the ripening of these five wisdoms, the five original Buddha families emerge, and through the expanse of their wisdom, the 42 peaceful Buddhas appear. Through the arising power of the five wisdoms, the 60 wrathful Herukas manifest. Thus, the ground awareness is never mistaken or wrong. The original Buddha of all, and through this prayer of mine, may all you beings who wander in the three realms of samsara realize this self-arising awareness, and may your great wisdom spontaneously increase. My emanations will continuously manifest in billions of unimaginable ways, appearing in forms to help you beings who can be trained. Through my compassionate prayer, may all of you beings who wander in the three realms of samsara escape from the six life forms.
I think maybe we stop there, or we just fanatic chanting now, maybe. Oh, Dambos, everyone has that. Now we are switching back to the fanatic with the fanatic one. It's I'm not sure which page. It's no page number with me. Yeah. Everyone. O Dambo Samjian Chorba Na Shila Rukpa Ma Sha Yue Ije Yang Teme Wa Dega Ma Ren Chorbe Je Telai Ji Jarwa Le Ngon Tai She Ba Sa Se Je Etele Da Yen Zhan Zin Je Ba Ja Ren Shen De Ba Grova Lo Se Jung Wan Jung De Le Nyom Mo Tong Ai Je Deng Le La Jun Je Me Te Je Sem Jen Zhu Wei She Zheme Ma Rui Yen Be Je Song Ji Nga Yi Mo Lam Ji Gun Je Ru Pa Ran Shi Sho. Maybe we stop here. This is one session that you notice maybe Kuntuzangpo says here that may all beings recognize their own awareness. We are talking about that yesterday to try to sit down and only we need to recognize our nature of our mind. We think, of course, sometimes we think we have much more bigger problems, serious problems, and samsara is so difficult place to live, and all these bad deeds, maybe previous lives we did, and these lives sometimes without knowing we did some wrong. So this kind of heavy guilt or that, of course, we can need to acknowledge that, to confess. When we make a confession, we need to bring that in our mind. But here is this samsara, between samsara and the nirvana. The line is very thin. Even maybe there's not much line. So that's why the liberation is very, very easy to achieve. There's one chan, the teaching, the small book says that every moment you're waking is a liberation. That is enlightenment. So the Dzogchen teaching is so special and so powerful. Why? Because it introduced that the ordinary beings can practice the right moment, liberate instantly. It's not need to wait for a long time to do that. And here, Kuntuzangpo's prayer, this all, may all beings recognize their own awareness. And earlier, we already know that the samsara and the nirvana between these two is aware or unaware. It's not really two things that we can pinpoint, but really how we treat the objects. Then we also can talk about self-liberation and natural liberation and instantaneous liberation. So there's a lot of liberations that we talk about. We will see after the settle how we can treat when our thoughts rise and so forth. So here, say from the beginning, you beings or beings are deluded because you do not recognize awareness of the ground. So we talk about awareness of the ground. And here the Tibetan is different. I don't know other translations what they do. At least this our small blue book seems read is a little bit differently. So here in the Tibetan say, from the beginning, beings deluded because beings do not, their awareness didn't dawn on the ground. So which means that the awareness is subject. Here, awareness of ground. It's not the, I mean, it doesn't really that much matter, but it's this awareness is our awareness. That is not dawn on the ground. Means it didn't illuminate the ground. Means our awareness didn't recognize the ground. It's not we don't recognize the ground. It's not what we don't recognize our awareness, but our awareness didn't recognize the ground. So in a Tibetan, would not have much different, but if you treat here we talk about the ground. We are separating from the ground. That is another subject, complicated. And if we have time in the future, this Longchenpa's teachings is very detailed on these 8 doors of spontaneously present, how this ground presencing or the ground fulgent or ground manifest in such a way to samsaric beings or the enlightened beings. There was no differentiation of that because of recognition of the ground. Kuntuzangpo become Buddha, and the sentient beings become sentient beings due to the recognition and non-recognition. So here, already saying once we are sentient beings, now here is talking about two paths. Yeah, the one path is samsaric path. We all sentient beings have still have awareness, but that awareness didn't realize the ground, the actual nature of the ground. And what happened when our awareness is sort of become ignorant, and then beings that's unmindful of what occurred is delusion. Beings that unmindful of what occurs is delusion. Yeah, that delusion is we call delusion or confusion or mistake. But what we call is due to the unrecognition, or our awareness didn't really recognize the ground. Sometimes we have the three ignorance. The three ignorances are self-ignorance, which means this unrecognition, the very beginning of what our awareness is become dull. So that's a self-ignorance. And then the true ignorance will become later, that there's two terms we could learn. The very state of unawareness and the cause of going stray. We remember astray is even we are this samsaric world in a two path. We took a road that's much more bumpier road, but we never stray from the ground. I'm not sure. We don't have this word in the Tibetan. So what they say in other translation. You see there is anxiety and a mental disquiet, from which notion of self and others empty appear. So this all adding something. I think try to making sense to us. And anyway, that's even straight or going to straight or this, we still need to think about our rooted in the ground. We cannot move out of Dharmakaya. That's for a period. And in the sutras, even teaches the ultimate realities where we stuck. And even we are kicking and screaming, but we cannot get out of this Dharmakaya. So that's the main idea of it. How easy to be getting enlightenment, because we just need to sit quietly. And we are doing something means we are trying to delusionally we can do something out of something, and that's our problem. That's sentient beings' problem. Yeah. Anyway, we can read further. This blue book is better, or is the same? The small book is same as this big blue book, or not? Not. Okay. So whatever you have a question, let me know. We have few translations. That seems a little bit difficult. Now we know the how the very first ignorant. In all Buddhist teachings, ignorance is the cause of the samsara. When we talk about Four Noble Truths, suffering and cause of suffering. Cause of suffering is ignorance. Yeah. So that is the whole Buddhist teaching. And here, in the sutras, they never say what is cause of ignorance. But here it's explaining the cause of ignorance. What is the cause of the ignorance? And the cause of ignorance, how happened? So sutras never talks about this ground before samsara and nirvana, how things arise. So here explaining that everything's equal, everything's everything's nature is one single nature, but then somehow it happened, and somehow it's happened is we need to study more texts that talks about this how things happened. I think easy way I'm sort of saying is that if before sleeping maybe there is no dream, and a dream come out of from sort of nowhere. We can call the sleeping as a cause of dream, but then, of course, whatever dream images or dream activities we see, that's not really out of the sleep. What we have, the physical or mental activities, what happening. Similarly, here we can call the cause of ignorance is something happened in the ground. Due to that, then these two paths or the appearances arise. Even the appearances itself is nothing but ground. And then there's two ways of think about it. And if you recognize this ground is nothing but the ground itself, then there's no problem. If we fully understand this is just dream, then we don't want to attach to that dream. And then sentient beings have a doubt whether these appearances are coming from me or coming from outside. So that's the first doubt we have, is the cause of ignorance, or the ignorance itself. Here is talking about. From the beginning, you beings are deluded because you do not recognize, or your awareness did not recognize the ground. What recognized the ground? The appearance appears to you, that is you didn't recognize. It's your own ground or your own awareness. And then it's become more intense and more concretized, and then we can talk more about this. Yeah. From these delusive states, separation, self, and perception of others
as enemies.
So this is you can see, this text is so profound and packed with informations without knowing Dzogchen view. and the ground, and this is a little bit difficult to impact, but still we can see how our delusional thinking or delusive or state it comes. From this delusive state comes the sudden fainting away. Fainting means you're stuck, sort of surprised that what is this bizarre phenomena. So the fainting used as in that way. If you suddenly wake up, very deep sleep, suddenly sometimes you kind of become confused that is this morning or this evening or this. So you are kind of surprised yourself that what's happening. Yeah. So that part is the fainting part. Away, and then subtle consciousness, wavering of fear. Then suddenly, if you want to go to work at morning, and you think, suddenly, I'm late for the work. So that's kind of fear and anxiety arising. Yeah, as soon as you treat these appearances out there, not mine, I need to deal with something, encounter with something. And then yesterday we talked about in a Pardo, the 100 deities, maybe peaceful deities are gentle and not much fear, but then they say when lawful deities show up, and then it's a lot of loud voice and kind of ferocious bodies. It's a very fearful place, Pardo has. Pardo is also a stage or the similar manifestation of the ground how manifest, because as soon as you die, black out, nothing happened, and you wake up from there, it's just Dharmakaya, pure Dharmakaya. Probably very short period of time. If you recognize there, you can become Dharmakaya. But then if you miss that part, then peaceful deities show up, and then lawful deities show up. So these stages are what we are showing here. You can see here as similar. And from that, wavering where arises a separation of self and perception of others as enemy. So we have this anxiety that once you see others and self here, then people usually care more about self and treat other as less care. And then these getting more and more intense, and then we have want to protect me and myself and my family, my pets and my country and so forth, and then whoever harm our thing, then we get upset and so forth. So this is how human beings and maybe animals and others acts, yeah. And gradually the tendency of separation strengthens, getting stronger, and from this cycle of samsara begins. Then the emotion of five poisons develop. The action of these emotions are endless. I think the Bahatruku's translation, I remember, it has some nice wordings in there. What we have in there. Seems he say from this where the habits of anger become stronger and stronger. Is this Bhagavatra's translation? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Now this I remember. Do you see the lines of that? Yeah, but there was, yeah, once you try to find something, it's never find. So that's maybe not there, just delusionally thinking that something in there. And gradually the tendency of separation strengthens, and from the circle of samsara begins, then the emotion of five poisons develop. The action of these emotions are become sort of endless. And then you begins lax awareness because of your unmindful, and there's basis of your going stray again. Stray is a word that use here, and often we need to think we never stray from the ground. And through my prayer, all you beings recognize your intrinsic awareness. That is a very important part. If early we talk about whether our awareness is same as ground or wisdom as the same as ground. It's Tibetan words are sometimes maybe important. We have yeshi. Yeshi translated as primordial knowing. That's kind of literal meaning. Once we use a primordial knowing, means it's already always knowing. There is no unknown stage, primordially knowing. I translate in writings gnosis, that is maybe for you. It's could be new language, new vocabulary, but sometimes we use wisdom as well. The Rigpa awareness is here means Rigpa. Rigpa is we see how aware or not aware, which means the recognition. I always discuss with others, and I believe that Rigpa is something we have. We can use it. Awareness that we have. That's just, we have the Rigpa, and we need to recognize Rigpa through Rigpa. That's why the Tikku practice is Rigpa, the awareness recognizing awareness. And there is a subject-object duality collapse there, yeah? And then we have two more ignorance or unaware. Here called unawareness means ignorant here. As usually in the Dharma books we translate as ignorant, but here we have unawareness. And these first we know that Dzogchen saying that when ignorant itself, we saw that this kind of confused that as soon as wake up, so we are shocked that there's something, but couldn't tell morning or evening. Suddenly fear arises because need to go to work, but it's already 10 o'clock and I should be there 9 o'clock. So it's a fear that arises, and then slowly we figure out, or making sense to us, really making sense to us, and settle down. Okay, this is this evening is maybe a little bit giving a comfort, um, but then it's getting sort of deeper a level. You see, we can read together, maybe a little bit more.
The innate unawareness. Innate unawareness means unmindfulness and distraction. Imputing unawareness means dualistic thoughts towards self and others. Both kinds of unawareness are the basis for the delusion of all beings.
Through
Kuntuzangpo's
Kuntuzangpo's
prayer, may all you beings wandering in samsara clear away the dark fog of unmindfulness, clear away the clinging thoughts of duality. May you recognize your own intrinsic awareness.
Yes, these areas are important to understand, and there's two mainly unawareness or the ignorance. One is called innate ignorance, innate in the sense of soon as sentient beings are separated from the enlightened beings, we have that. That's why it's innate. And most of the time, these Tibetan words translate as core emergent. Yeah, Lenjik Jeba. Chakchen Lenjik Jeba means core emergence of Mahamudra. That same word. So either you innate is good or the core emergence is good. That means we sort of who we are now, and we have sense of who we are mistakenly. Now we figure out this is not morning, it's evening. So that kind of sense of direction, but totally wrong. But still, we have a more settled way of treating it. And then that's the means mindfulness and distraction. Just do, you don't really have a strong fixation. And then the second one is imputing unawareness, which means imputing ignorance. Then we really have a sense of self and other. That's just quite strong. Means dualistic thoughts toward self and others. And now we have solidifying or the concretizing our samsaric world quite well. And these both kind of unawareness or ignorance are the basis for the delusion of all beings. So if we have first we call ignorance, but it's more confusion, and then we have a sense of the direction, but and then we decide self and other. The boundary is very clear now. And through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all beings wandering the samsara clear away the dark force of unmindfulness, clear away the clinging thoughts of duality. May you recognize your own intrinsic awareness. So that's our how we pray and how the Kuntuzangpo's prayer is powerfully we can remove or correct our understanding. So it's necessary. We don't need to do any other things. Yeah. Okay, we can read further.
Dualistic thoughts create doubt. From subtle attachment to this dualistic turn of mind, dualistic tendencies become stronger and thicker. Food, wealth, clothes, home, and friends, the five objects of the senses, and your beloved family. All these things cause torment by creating longing and desire. These are all worldly delusions. The activities of grasping and clinging are endless.
Maybe we stop there. So these, of course, we have dualistic thoughts created doubts, or the dualistic thoughts that make everything murky. We we already didn't recognize ourselves who we are, and then top of that we have ideas of self and others, and then we have much more concretized self and other. Through that, then we even make friends and enemies, and so these kind of strong sense are quite hurtful sometimes and difficult to resolve or subside. Yeah. So this tetsum or doubt in the Tibetan means we are not clear. From subtle attachment to dualistic true mind, dualistic tendencies become, I was looking for this, stronger and thicker. It's become stronger and concretized, so the very thick and strong. So now we really think, I need everything, and I cannot survive without many things. And then our modern way of living is even more destruction. Yeah, it seems we are slowly destroy our home, so that we don't really notice or we see or we don't care. We care. So anyway, that's just how our emotions and the afflictions are become sort of manifest in a certain way that the samsara has become very intense place. That's why in the sutras we need to see samsara as a poisonous snake's pits or the fire pits that is always burning, always hatred, desire, and all poisons are kind of churning out, and so that's why our hearts cannot stand on this samsaric suffering, and they want to just get away from samsara and so forth. So that is how much we can do here, and then we read one more.
When the fruition of attachment ripens, you are born as a hungry ghost, tormented by coveting, desiring, miserable, starving, and thirsty. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all you desirous and lustful beings who have attachments neither reject longing desires nor accept attachment to desires. Let your consciousness relax in its own natural state. Then your awareness will be able to hold its own. May you achieve the wisdom of perfect discernment.
So you see here is important. Of course, these will repeat 6 rounds, and now we know our afflictions are getting very stronger. Even that's almost created the whole structural world. And yesterday, we have a discussion on the hell realms. Maybe you or someone. Oh, you? Okay. Because in the Bodhicharyavatara talks about the hell realms. The hell realms is just the reflection of your own mind. And even there says there's nothing but the hell realm or any other hungry ghost. It's just your own mind. So we see here the dualistic mind become stronger and thicker, and then objects are concretized. Same way in a dream, there's no objects, but we can really treat them or attach to them or grasping them as a real thing. And that's why people have nightmares, yeah. Say, I have nightmare means something that dream image bothers their mental stage. So that's why it's called the nightmare. And here, most important part is let your consciousness relax a little bit, yeah. And Gachi Rinpoche often do this. That not only your mind, but body is also related to you. So it helps to settle in your central state. I'll do a little bit this, and then relax. You should not have tense body. And then on nature state. On nature state, we talk about the Rigpa or awareness. The awareness itself as nature state, or if real awareness is the nature, your nature state. When your awareness will be able to hold its own, it means can rest its own state. How to rest it? That yesterday we talked about. You need to look at your back of your head. And through this, may you achieve the wisdom of perfect discernment. So that's the purpose of that. We have to discernment. Confidence. But this is maybe not really encouraging, but Garchen Rinpoche told me that at least when you meditate, you should have confidence all the time, even you are totally wrong. Maybe we slowly make correction, but if you think I'm wrong, then you never do meditation well. You just sit and relax with that confidence that it may be slowly, if we are wrong, through Guru's blessing and reading, chanting, and these aspirational prayers, maybe we can line slowly. But if you always have doubt on your practice, then you never be confidence a practitioner. Or the wheels, yesterday we talked about the wheels just like a mountain, yeah? Strong, unshakable, unchangeable. Rest a little bit. think today, this morning session, we stop here. And then afternoon, we have talk as well. So maybe we spend the first session to go through this text, finish. Now, of course, not that easy, but the easy part, there's a lot of repetition. We don't need to spend too much on the text. The most difficult or important session that early part is already done. So we will chant and finish the text, and then we do a tea break, and then come back for to talk, Lama Chopa talk, and also chant the text that we have, the Narak Tonduk, which means the churning depth of the hell. That means we can all sentient beings from there. We will read. We will, or you will, or someone. If too long, two people, three people can read. Yes, we do. Another Tongdu. I think when we talk, and when you talk, and then we can read those. Yeah. Maybe short dedication now.
Page 18, Lord Jigten Samgun's dedication. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage gurus, divine assembly of yidams, assemblies of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, heroes and heroines, yogi and hurli of dakinis, all of you dwelling in the 10 directions, please heed me. By power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of attachment, hatred, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, gain, respect, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. May I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. At the moment of death, may I not experience the suffering of being abruptly severed from this life. May I not suffer a terrible death. May I not die confused by wrong views. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind itself and in the crystal clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.